Walking into my grandmother's house with the distinct smell of ragù being made meant two things. One, I would be spending the next few hours as a kitchen assistant. And two, there was going to be a big meal. Something I was rarely opposed to. Some of my earliest memories are drenched in the smell of ground meat, carrots, celery, and onions frying. Me, standing on a chair, leaning over a hot stove, stirring the various pots and pans. Occasionally moving my chair to the other counter so that I could chop vegetables, bread meat, or make cake batter. My grandmother had me cooking from a very young age. I think many of us who are entranced by food have significant core memories of making or enjoying food made with absolute love. My grandparents are from Lucca in Tuscany, Italy. As young children, they experienced World War II and grew up in a post-war Italy. My grandfather is an only child. His mother raised him on her own since his father disappeared shortly after his birth. My grandmother, on the other hand, was the seventh born of 13 children, once considered an unlucky number. She was the witch's child, according to her community. I'm sure it didn't really help that her mother was High Priestess Azzurra. My grandmother spent a good chunk of her formative years in a convent. It was common practice for large families with few resources. One of her sisters lived with another family. They had apparently doted on her quite a bit. My grandmother, my nonna, is someone who has lived an interesting life. She fell in love with my nonno when they were very young, just 17 years old. She said that my nonno was good looking, a good singer, strong, fearless, confident, and very charming. I'm sure she didn't realize that he would land up taking her across the globe. After they married, in the shadows of the night, she fell pregnant pretty quickly. Unfortunately, the first child did not survive. Once she described the whole experience to me. I was genuinely surprised when she went on to have 4 other children. I think she would have had more, though. You see, it's something I really admire about her. Her anxieties, her fears consume her, yet she always finds a way to get through it. Like all of us, she also has her faults, some that have had significant influence on me. It hasn't always been easy, recognizing them. We're all shaped by the people surround us, for better or worse. For me, though, my grandmother, my nonna, will always be the strong woman who raised her 4 children in an environment that wasn't very welcoming. She persevered, she fought, she made a good life for her family and never left them wanting for food or shelter. My grandparents taught me the value of community, love, and the profound effects of a delicious homemade meal. Enjoying food made with love, passion, and care is incredibly soothing. Our bellies are full, our minds are completely present, living in that one moment so deeply it feels like it could last forever. And no matter your age, one always seems to feel an overwhelming sense of nostalgia, washed in the emotions of time almost forgotten. A time when being with your family and friends meant a celebrated gathering, when all your dreams and aspirations had the space to grow large and wondrous. A meal that hits all those notes becomes a shared experience, connecting everyone at the table, solidifying a bond. My grandparents cook in this way. My grandparents ensured making food and sharing my bounty was a magical experience. So when I make ragù, I cannot help but think of them. Think of how lucky I am to have them. And every time I make ragù, I smell those aromas filling my kitchen, and I am 10 years old again, I can hear my nonna telling me to hurry up, to set the table, to decant the wine, all in her frantic voice. I will never make ragù without feeling the love my nonna put in every meal. As she made her ragù, I now make mine with the same level of care, love, and patience. Amazingly, though, I have an opportunity to share all of this with my daughter, teaching her how to cook, how to express herself in her cooking, and how to show her love in one meal. You know, a secret that lives deep inside, a secret that I once had living in the forefront of my heart, is that I envisioned a life where I had a farm and a big family. A family of mismatched individuals working together for a good life. I yearned to work with animals and educate my community. I'm not sure, but I believe my grandparents, my nonni, were part of laying those foundations. Over the years, those dreams became more and more distant. Eventually, diagnosis of a neurological condition, rare neurological condition, did not ease things either. As time went on, those dreams faded, and I began to focus inward. It was only when I met my husband that I dared to dream, just a little. But I never let go of being kind and finding ways to inspire and uplift the people around me. After a while, I began to see myself as a spiritual vagabond, a traveling wise person of sorts, briefly existing in the lives of people who needed a pillar to get them to the other side. Then my sweet pea was born. Looking into her eyes, I knew I would always love her. I knew that our bond would never break. A glimpse of those old dreams began to flutter. Suddenly my cooking became so much more. I wanted to be the person I was meant to be. I wanted to be better for her and my family. I wanted her to feel the love that I had the privilege of experiencing. So now when I make ragù, it is not only the past that boils up. The tears I shed are also for a future I can see, a future that is so clear it almost feels like a premonition. I make ragù to preserve my memories of cooking with my nonna, and so that one day I can show my sweet pea how to make the same recipe, carrying, in part, tradition from my nonna and those before her.